peaches. I'm dying of thirst. Thank you, Mustafa, for getting me started off on that. I'm not kidding. I have never in my life received a moving violation ticket. It's not that I haven't been stopped countless times. I have. It does make me wonder why I have been able to avoid scraping the knees of police officers time and time again. I think to myself, perhaps it's their genuine befuddlement at my blonde explanation of the crime I've just committed. I'm not sure. But one absolutely crazy officer told me once, "You do realize, ma'am, that you committed a California stop." I said, "Aren't we still in California?" I just smiled and waved. It worked. Tears work. Pity is a wonderful way to get out of a ticket, especially if it's genuine. I'm pulling out of an area. My attorney had just called and told me that I was late for a court hearing. It's a police officer I nearly sideswiped. He pulls me to the side, I get out, and he says, "No, no, no, you're not supposed to be out of the car." I'm standing there, leaning against the car, hysterical, crying, snot bubbles down my nose and the whole 9 yards. And he says, "Are you okay?" I said, "No, I've got the court, I've got the attorney, I've got the this, I've got the late." He says, "Just hand me your license." I did. I can't speak. I'm gasping for breath. I'm nearly hysterical. And he says, "I don't want to add to your bad day." I get back in the car and off I go. Another time, I'm in Stockton, California. Just went to a convention. It is next door, the parking center is next door to the Stockton Police Facility, the whole big deal. It's the big police department. I get in my car and you may have noticed I blather on and on. So I'm talking to the ticket guy, I have no idea what about. Well, we're talking and chatting and chatting, talking, going on and on and on. And I say goodbye and off I go, turn a hard right and realize it's a one-way street and absolutely everybody is going the wrong way in 4 lanes. So this police officer lights up, because the police department's right there, lights up like a Christmas tree and comes sliding like this one. I'm really scared. I'm terrified. And I'm thinking, this deluge of cars is about to send me into an ambulance at best. He stopped and he's this way and he's gesticulating at me like this, and I'm thinking, I don't know what he means, but there's things like this going on. I figured what he probably is trying to tell me is to turn around, so I do so. Even my car is embarrassingly leaving and stopping at the side and pulling over. I know I'm getting a ticket. This is going to be my first. However, he gives me a dirty look, so vile, it lives with me still today. And the 2 miscreants handcuffed in the back seat are giving me the stink eye and shaking their heads with a disdain. Again, this is with me as we speak. I pull over, I wait a good 5 minutes for someone in blue to show up and give me a ticket. Didn't happen. Escaped again. I know that there's a ferry up there that's just saying, hey, it's all good. No tickets for you. There was a time when a lady is in front of me. I'm waving at the bus driver. The bus driver's coming this way. The bus driver waves back. The lady in front of me thinks for some reason that this means stop suddenly. So she slams on her brakes. I'm not looking because, of course, I'm smiling and waving. I hit her just a little. Oh, just a little. So we, of course, reported immediately to the fire department.
The fire department? Fire department.
I want you to think about it, yes,
Yeah.
think about it. Immediately to the fire department, they were very happy to take it, not to mention I brought them donuts the day before as a thank you gift, and I smiled and waved. Got away with that one as well. But finally, I'm with my son, and we have just purchased things in Modesto, California, and I am chatting with him away, and I'm in my little Volkswagen Bug, and chit-chat, da-da-da-da, and we're in the turn lane, and all of a sudden I hear a on my window. And I look, and here is a motorcycle police officer. And he says, "Ma'am, are you aware that you don't have a license plate?" And I thought, well, I'm not gonna actually tell him that I spent more money on the paint job than I did on the car, and the car wouldn't pass smog, so I never had a license plate, so I didn't wanna go there. So I looked at my son and went, which he understood as a, and I said, "Of course." "No way, officer, oh my God, my license plate is gone, and the little Volkswagen thingy in front is gone, and look at my rearview mirror is gone too, they took nearly everything, and my little Jack in the Box antenna ball too. Bye, Shane, see you, thank you, bye." At which point, I looked at my son, and he goes, "Mom, that police officer's just sitting back there, stunned, shaking his head like this." And I said, "Jordan, just smile and wave. Just smile and wave."
People have been defenestrated for saying things like that. But I don't want to be facetious with a distinguished president like this. There's something important. Now, this was a speech number 1 out of the Entertaining Speakers Manual, which I found was one of the most fun. It's one of the most fun things for you to look forward to as you get through your CC, because it really gets us into the role of what we think of as a Toastmaster. In fact, there's one, and it's an after-dinner speech. This particular one was the first speech, called the Entertaining Speech. And the objectives are to entertain the audience by relating a personal experience and to organize an entertaining speech for maximum impact. Does not want to have an argument, persuasion, or lecture. They want to be entertained, and they expect you to do it. This was a wonderful speech, very funny. I loved the way you started right out. You had us in the palm of your hand. It was very clear. You used the space up here very nicely, your vocal variety, all the things you learned in the top 10 speeches in the CC manual you used beautifully here. And your stories were wonderful. It's hard to imagine that one person could have had this many experiences with police. Could some of them been made up? I don't know, but we know from Kyle's experience that maybe there were twice as many more. I don't know. So you had to pick and choose. How could this have been made better? First of all, you want to make it very clear to the Toastmaster what manual, because he said it was a storytelling manual. So you want to get that worked out in advance. It was a little confusing to me, and then confusing, I'm sure, to others as well. You didn't have to have your glasses in your hand, which you sort of had them put down eventually, but they're kind of swinging around and were distracting. Didn't need that. And actually, although you changed the title at the last minute, I think you could have had a better title. Because it wasn't all just smile and wave. There was crying sometimes, and then there was being scared other times, and there were things with your son other times. So I think another title actually would work better for this speech. I'm not quite sure what it is, but you can think about that. Because it wasn't just smiling and waving. I'm thinking about what I could take away from this. A blonde wig, lipstick, and then somehow the persona of Kyle. I think the first two I could do better, but the persona of Kyle is 1 in a million. Thank you.